Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you, and welcome to the latest in our series of Doha debates sponsored by the Qatar Foundation. Conflict in the Middle East doesn't just involve guns and bombs, it's also played out in the media, specifically in the Arab and Western satellite TV channels. The Bush administration has recently raised the stakes, calling Al-Jazeera and others hateful propaganda and a mouthpiece of Al-Qaeda. But with the US press dominated by commercial interests and the Pentagon accused of planting false stories in Iraq, who can claim the moral high ground? Our motion tonight, this House believes that the Arab media need no lessons in journalism from the West, is certain to open up the controversial ways both sides operate. Speaking in favor, not surprisingly perhaps, is Khaled Hroub. He's the host of a weekly program on Al Jazeera. He's also the director of the Cambridge Arab Media Project. His forthcoming book is called appropriately New Media and Politics in the Arab World. With him, Marc Lynch, who's Associate Professor of Political Science at Williams College in America. He's an expert on the Arab media and has recently published a work entitled Voices of the New Arab Public. Now, opposing the motion, Abdallah Schleifer, formerly an American journalist who covered the Middle East for NBC. He was their Cairo bureau chief for 9 years. He then went on to found a center for training television journalists in the Arab world. He's now crossed the fence to the Saudi-owned station Al-Arabiya and is their bureau chief in Washington, D.C. You could say he's tasted it from all sides. And with him is Mona Eltahawy, an Egyptian-born journalist. She writes for the Arab daily Ashaq al-Awsat from the US and is a frequent contributor to Western papers, among them the New York Times, the Washington Post, and the Herald Tribune on a range of Arab issues. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our panel. And now let me call on Khaled Hroub straight away to speak for the motion.
Thanks, Tim. Our friends, while my position is for the motion, I think that Western media is in no position to claim a moral high ground and to give others lessons or lectures. I think Western media should fix itself in the first place. Of course, there are so many honest media anchors in the West, honest practices as well, but the mainstream media is still in very bad shape. It's in a very bad shape because it allies itself with the ugly Western politics that everybody across the globe hates nowadays. And because of this alliance, this media supported Bush and Blair's war against Iraq. This war was based on big lies, the lie that Osama bin Laden had a connection with Saddam Hussein, a second big lie that Iraq had nuclear weapons threatening the West. Everybody now knows that these were very big lies. Western media supported these lies and bought them. What kind of lessons that we all can learn from such a media? The second thing is that this media is mostly owned by private companies. And when you have private companies, they seek profit. And when you seek profit, you focus on sensational material, on sex, fashion, celebrities. Maybe you and me, we know more about David Beckham and his wife Victoria, much more than millions of poor people in Africa, in Latin America, and Asia, who suffer on a daily basis. What kind of lessons do we learn from such a media focusing on celebrities and ignoring millions of people? The third thing is that this media, and acknowledged by Western honest academics, is institutionally racist against the black, the Arabs, the Muslims, and basically non-Westerners. And according to so many studies, you can find this kind of racism everywhere. What kind of lessons do we learn from racism-embedded media? My friends, I am vehemently with this motion, and I think, yes, the Arab media maybe has so many shortcomings and misgivings, but still, Western media cannot lecture them, and they do not have the moral high ground to give lessons to Arab media. And thank you.
Khaled Hroub, thank you very much indeed. If you think the mainstream media in the West is in such poor shape, why is your news station, Al-Jazeera International, hiring from BBC, CNN, Sky? It would seem their policy is slightly at odds with yours.
No. I acknowledge. I mean, I have so many friends, so many good friends in Western media. I said you can't, nobody can negate the existence of individuals, practices, programs.
No, but we just heard a diatribe about all its faults. It's racially biased. It's prejudiced in all ways.
If I hire you, Tim, I will be privileged. I mean, you are a good person, and you work for the BBC. So
but you can't have it both ways. You can't attack them on one hand and then hire them exclusively.